Yeah, it's clobbering time.
Welcome to the Hardly Heroes Podcast.
Hey yo, from the halls of justice to the temple of doom, the space wizards return and earn a sonic the boom. Pulling swords from stones, throwing rings into volcanoes. Water full of witches, I'm inevitably Thanos. Voltron made a lions, Wakanda with a panther. Walker Mars, darker Manhattan, Spocket for an answer. Live long and prosper, the force will be with you always. No work in all plays, shining like blood film always. Come and play with us, we all float down here. Say your name 3 times and we hopefully appear. Team full of psychics, super soldiers and weirdos. Some people call us sidekicks because we hardly heroes.
Welcome to Hardly Heroes, a podcast dedicated to movies, TV, and everything geek-related. I am the one and only, the master, the ruler of the podcast. And yes, I am back. I am sorry, all you listeners. Thank you for coming back. Don't worry, she's not here.
Yeah, this is your boy Dillard Skillard, Daniel Scalardo, L. Don Hubbard, LaDonathan Jenkins, Little Halfdill, and we
got Tater Tot over here, TT.
Cheese.
Cheese Whiz. Up in the ears. So, brother.
Hold on. Welcome to episode 251. It is the last show we're going to have in February. So 2/25/21.
Okay.
It's almost
March.
a full year since our 200th episode.
Since COVIDia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was like right in the beginning of the
Our
outbreak.
200th episode was right at the beginning of COVIDia.
It was literally that weekend before they shut everything down.
Right. So it's like, it was in the very beginning where like we definitely questioned, like, should we have this party?
Mm-hmm.
And I know when I was there, I was washing my hands a lot. I wasn't touching people, but we were crammed up in Jackrabbit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
I mean-
some people didn't show up because of COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Project Wish didn't show
Yeah,
up.
which like,
Bex
now is
didn't
like
show up.
that. Yeah, that's like was a good choice for them. And we were crammed up in there. If you see the pictures, we were touching like controllers and the Nintendo, and
it was butts to nuts.
it was definitely.
It was
And,
definitely.
It's just funny to think because we couldn't do that today. A year later, that's just non-existent.
No, it's a terrible thing to gather.
You can't.
You shall not.
Shan't.
Shan't.
You
You
shan't.
shall not pass.
No.
I do. Oh man, that was a fun night. I really miss it.
And
That
it
was live, man.
Making the beer, canning it,
canning
dude.
up the brew.
Well, that's another thing to think about with
Cosmic
COVIDia is all of us were touching, canning beers that with, like just touching it, no masks. You know what I'm saying? It's like
No mask.
God,
just
how
so-
unsafe we were.
I know. It's just so funny to think like now I'd be like,
I didn't sanitize my hand 100 times that day.
I know.
That was so
Terrible.
much fun. That was really sad. I am happy to be back.
So we
miss.
we did clean up the flood from last week. That's why we couldn't do the show last week.
Yeah, I was lied to. I was told that the Triple HQ was under construction, and I was, blown away. I was really sad I was going to not see Dilly. I was actually relieved I wasn't going to see Cheese. I'm sick of her trying to say her nickname is something different. But I actually have repercussions because of what has happened since I'm the ruler of this show. I have a special guest for After Dark. And for you people that are After Dark subscribers, you can go to Podbean. It's $3 or $2 a month to get the After Dark. It's the best way to support the show. Go to Podbean, become a patron, because this one you're not going to want to miss. For their treason acts, I have a special guest, and it is going to be the one, the only, C Nasty.
P1 in the building.
Wait, C Nasty's coming on?
C
Yep.
Nasty's coming on. We are going to be recording tomorrow. It is going to be, as I say, vivacious.
So who's getting booted out?
Who's getting the caboot? Oh, Dilly's getting the caboot.
Yeah, I'm getting the boot. It's just tough because I definitely want to, chill with C Nasty.
So, but I'm scared for C Nasty to come in because he's mad at me for the treasonous.
Yes, and that's exactly why. Is we had been messaging on the messages, and he goes, "This shall not stand anymore. I shan't let you be talked to this way." So he is
Chris.
coming all the way.
Chris.
to be on the show.
You know what I think?
To lay down the law.
To confront the cheese.
This is what I believe is going to happen. It's one thing to like get mad at me when I'm talking on the show.
I do hear her mumble because she's so afraid.
But it's another
now.
thing to be mad at this like hecka cute face.
The grease face.
This,
that cheese
with the bangs
grease.
and everything.
With the middle part.
Yeah.
You don't even have the curly bangs or whatever.
I don't have the curly bangs today, but I do have bangs, which are very cute.
No.
It's a little boxy, but
It's not
What we're definitely going to do is he's going to roll up. We're going to throw water on cheese, drive away laughing. Then she'll be wet, stinky cheese.
Do you
That's
think I
right.
should do the curly bangs tomorrow?
I don't know, but see nasty is come.
Okay, so
Tell him I'm coming and hell's coming with me. And that is a good segue because I am very, 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 very upset. You do not insult a phenomenal actor like Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton is amazeballs.
Okay, I didn't.
this is true.
I never said it.
What?
That was on Katana's list.
And you're her little sidekick.
Whoa, throwing Catons under the bus.
Yeah,
so
where's your
fast.
gur at? Where's your gur?
Bill
What's
Paxton. Excuse me, Bill Paxton was not on my list, bro. That's
But
not.
you
know,
were
I know.
colluding with her.
No, Dilly, that's not throwing her under the bus. That's just stating facts.
Well, you just read like that was Katana that did that.
It
So I would
was
just
Katana.
see. That's how you're.
That's not.
Thank you,
Listen,
Dill. Thank you. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just so upset that you would throw R.I.P. Bill Paxton
Yeah.
under the bus.
Chet. I mean, he's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
Why are you guys kidding me? I wasn't on my list, bro.
It's your gur. You're always standing up for your gur, and you were the one that said, "Oh well, there's a flood in the studio, so you got your gur to come on," and now
So
you're
everything-
backpedaling. Now you're backpedaling.
I had to take T blockers that episode
No,
too.
so-
See,
I'm serious.
So everything she says now I'm responsible for?
no, but you for kicking me out, trying to do some collusion. Now you're paying the price. And I don't see, there's no emails from her, nothing, because she's scared too. Because she knows, see, Nasty's coming. And hell's coming with him.
Okay, I'm not taking the fall for that. I'm just gonna say.
Dude, love Bill Paxton.
Yeah,
I
he's-
think he's phenomenal in Aliens. He's phenomenal in Tombstone, dude.
He's great.
Yeah, he's good. In
Like,
Tombstone.
I like Bill Paxton. I think he's funny.
Okay.
I think he can be serious. He's a great actor. And to say that
I
he's...
think the point of
You're
the
trying
list,
to put him next to, like, Nicolas Cage and stuff? Like, this fool's got chops.
she was saying
Well,
she likes
did.
him.
R.I.P. Miss you, Paxton.
Well, I think it was a list of the worst best actors.
Yeah.
But just try and say he ain't got chops. He got chops.
So
He's
did
got
you
a huge portfolio.
Did you have anything else to say about our lists?
I am not participating because it was very upsetting. Now, Nicolas Cage, I definitely 100% agree. Face Off is an abomination.
What
Like,
about Brendan Fraser? You think he's a good actor?
No, he's just Brendan Fraser, and he did not age well.
No.
Like,
No.
but he's good, like, in those certain roles. Like I said, I liked him in Doom Patrol. I love Blast from the Past. That's, like, me and my grandparents'
Encino
like
Man.
favorite movie. Encino Man's good. Airheads. It's, like, hard to
about
see
that.
him in that role, but it's just kind of that kitschy 90s with, like, Adam Sandler, Steve Buscemi, and him. Like, could I picture anybody else in that role? No, but I think it's funny that it's him, you know, because he's definitely not like that bad boy kind of guy.
Right.
But I don't know. I thought it was, you know, pretty funny. I like Dilly's list was good. Paul Walker, I thought that one was pretty funny.
Yeah, you think
He's not a good actor.
Right.
I love Fast and the Furious, and that was another thing. I couldn't believe you said you were hating on car movies.
Yeah, I don't like car movies.
Love car movies.
Nope.
I mean,
Honestly, like if it's a car movie, I'm like, no, I'm good.
Did you get mad that I said Gal Gadot was on my list?
Oh yeah, that's funny. Do you
I
think
was
she's a
gonna
good
act
actress?
like that didn't happen. It's
Did that
I get
infuriate
you guys
you?
definitely make sense. You know what I mean? Like she doesn't like, especially 84 was not.
Have you seen her in
And that's
anything
what I'm
else?
But I
judging
feel
off
it
of.
might
That's really,
be.
I mean, that's kind of what I based that off of. Was
But have you
84.
seen her in any other role besides Wonder Woman?
No, that's what I'm saying is
Yeah.
I want to see more of her, but it was a big drop off, but I felt like maybe it was the writing because like you said, oh my God, why can't I think of the villain? What's her name?
Kristen?
Kristen Wiig.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig. She was my favorite part of the movie. I thought she did really good. Her, her funny roles to her serious parts were very good, and for her to be not funny the whole time and actually be serious, like I actually really liked it, and seeing her kind of get that confidence and that swag, like
Right.
she was the only redeeming part of that movie.
It was a good acting display.
Yes.
And Pedro too. I thought he was
yeah.
like a great.
Yeah.
His character was really good in that too. I thought he played it well.
Well, I guess we're glad you're back, brother. So,
Update right now. C Nasty just texted me and he goes, I hope they're ready. And I was just like,
Yes.
what? He's like, not just they. He's like, Dilly's not going to get any shade, but Cheese is going to, he's like, I'm bringing the heat.
Yes.
can you give me his phone number?
He's going to bring the heat.
L to the yeah.
I'm kind of scared.
I am steamy, beamy excited.
Okay,
The name's Willa Beam. And
just real quick, a word from our sponsor, Sector 7 Salon. Check us out. All our social is Sector 7 Salon. Our website, sector7salon.com. We're still looking for hairstylists. If you know any geeky hairstylists, barbers, braiders, anybody that is looking for a cool, welcoming, inclusive, comfortable, super safe place to work. Or if you just need your hair done. If you need your hair done, you can make appointments online. It's super easy. You can make it with me, Sierra, Lizzie, and soon to be another person,
nice.
which we haven't announced yet. But
Filling up fast.
yeah, so if you guys want a job here, you better
Chop chop.
honest to God, right?
Dude, you guys gotta jump on it because this place is dope.
It's so dope. You guys also go to our website if you haven't been there in a little bit. We have a video up.
Oh, yeah.
And it literally starts from the outside of the building and takes you in the salon. So it takes you down the hallway, past the podcast studio, into the salon, and you can really see how big and dope the space is. It's a really good representation of the space. So if you haven't been here, if you can't make it out, you have to check out this video. It's up on socials, but also if you go to our website, it's up there too. So anyway.
Nailed it.
I got a weird question for you guys.
Yes.
Today at work, I went,
Yeah.
a guy at work's like, I can't do that. And I was
Why?
like, what do you mean? He's like, I can't. He's like, I've tried and I can't. And I'm like, what do you mean? We got a legit in-depth conversation. He's like, I can't understand how to do it.
Make a clicking noise.
Yeah, just
I can't do a taco with my tongue. Do you think it's something like that?
I don't
it's like
know,
a
but
genetics thing.
have you ever met anybody that can't?
Well, I've literally never gone around and asked anybody.
And I didn't know it was a thing.
That's what I thought. But I thought it's just a sound. Mm-hmm. So I just wonder, is there any the tongue thing
hella
that
weird.
kind of makes sense, but a weird noise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like whistling I could get.
I don't know if there's anything that... Oh, there are some things that people can do. I can't gleek.
I can't gleek.
Can you guys touch your palm to your shoulder? Put your palm on your shoulder? Flat?
Is it flat?
Oh my God, Cheese can do it. See, I can't do that.
Can't
it
do
doesn't-
that?
I can't do it.
Is it because of your
Yeah.
muscles?
I think it's because I'm ripped.
He's just got too many muscles.
Yeah.
She's all lowering her
24-inch
shoulders.
pythons.
I'm like, I got all this shit, bruh.
So I got movement, bruh.
Okay, let's talk about WandaVision real quick. We don't have to get super into it. Next week or tomorrow is the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested in how you guys are feeling about it. I feel
Can I be 100% honest with you about this show?
you know what? I'd love for you to be frank.
I'd actually like if you sugarcoated it a little bit.
I really feel like they're just... It's too short, and it's too much teasing every single week.
Yeah.
And it's getting kind of old. I'm glad it's kind of wrapping up. The short episodes, they're not
killing
giving
me.
you enough.
It's killing me. As soon as I'm in it, it's over.
Yeah, and I love what they're doing. I think it's great, but I feel it'd be better if you saw it all.
Like if you could stream it all at once,
Yes.
or they dropped like 2 episodes at a time, or they just made the freaking episodes longer.
An hour,
Yeah.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just these 22-minute
I mean,
episodes.
as soon as I
is
honestly,
nothing.
it really does feel like you're on the edge of like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like,
And I'm like, oh my god, and then it's like it ends, and then you're like blue balled.
Mm-hmm. They usually give you like one thing, you know, like in this new one, there was, you know, we kind of find out some stuff, right? I mean,
well,
ahead.
yeah, go ahead. Drop
well,
a spoiler.
you know, it was Agnes all along.
Yeah.
Okay,
Which kind of
It was Agatha all along.
Agatha,
Yeah.
which is fun, you know, because a lot of these characters are so new to me. I had no idea who Agatha was. I had to like look her up. That was cool. You know, to kind of learn that at the end, but it's like I kind of feel the same way, brother. It's like I just feel like the episodes are too short, and it's like it's either they're like speeding it up too much or something, you know, or they're drawing it out too much. I don't know. It's like I'm always just a little unsatisfied when the episode is over.
I definitely feel that way, and I've been trying to pinpoint why I feel that way, and I think it is for the fact is we haven't got anything in a long time in the Marvel universe, so we're so thirsty and hungry for substance in this universe that everybody's kind of just like gimme, because you haven't had a movie, you hadn't had anything, so this is all we've had. You know what I mean? So everybody's just kind of like, I need something. And I think, you know, if we would have had, you know, Black Widow or something else to kind of cleanse, this wouldn't be as big of a thing. And them saying that we were going to get all these Marvel shows and we haven't got any of them, and now they're finally starting to roll out. I think that has a big part in this role.
I don't know. I really just think that they're the way that they've laid it out a little bit is like this whole story that they're telling. Like once we get to the end of these 8 episodes, like this whole story just could have been a movie. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't know if it could be a movie though. Like
I don't think
you
you
could.
could do
it
it as a
only
movie.
really works as
Because of the
in
episode,
the
like
episode format.
the decades they're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no,
think
you're right. You're right.
putting it together just wouldn't make sense.
So this last episode was like Modern Family, right? That was what they were.
That was the feel.
That's kind of what they were modeling it off after. In the theme song of the very beginning, at the very end, I heard The Office like for half a second. A bit of the Office theme
Of
song.
course she
did.
did.
You hear that?
No.
Did you hear
nobody
that?
Ever,
Nobody
heard
heard
that
it.
except you.
Thank you, Dill.
If any of you guys heard that, it was at the very end of the opening song.
She's hearing things, people. You guys have no idea.
She's on
But-
that Nexus.
Okay,
just-
this is the wait, real quick though. This last episode was one that to me didn't feel like the episode like where they were trying to emulate, you know, like a TV show or whatever. That didn't really grab for me because it was hard for them to
Because it's
such a
unwinding now.
Mm-hmm.
Like
What?
everything is unwinding. It's kind of
Right.
like coming apart at the seams. So that's why they're
so
doing
that's like
that.
on purpose.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And this was the first time they heard Cheese's complain about doing a post-credit scene.
Yeah. Did you see that, Dill?
No.
So somebody told me, because you know how we've been like, oh my God, there's 8 minutes of credits. And in the beginning, I was watching them all the way through and there was nothing. So I stopped watching them all the way through. And then somebody told me like, hey, make sure to watch it all the way through because there's an after credit scene.
Only in this episode 7?
I guess so.
Okay. Did you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see it.
He goes into the base, or, oh my gosh.
Pietro?
No, well, Piedro's there, but, oh my God, why am I drawing a blank on her name?
Oh, Rambo.
Yeah, Rambo goes to go in the basement. She opens up the door.
Oh, right. So she, like, you know where Agatha is?
Yeah.
She opens the basement and you can see Agatha's like purpley colors like in the basement. And then
Like vines looking.
and then Pietro comes over and says,
So, like, snooping, or Snooper's going to snoop.
so it really, like, I don't know if it said, really told you anything except for that. What I don't understand, can we talk about this? How come Rambo going through the hex is still fine? Is it because she went through before? That's a sorry excuse.
I don't know. Like, they kind of said that she's already been through it twice, so it, like, rewrote her DNA twice already. And then when after she didn't make it in the rover, right? She just jumps out, and I don't understand that part. Like, why did she think that she could just go through there all of a sudden?
I don't know. I agree with that. Where it's like in the rover, it was like
why didn't you just do that before? Why'd you have to order the rover
Right.
to not work to go through it? You could have just went through it.
And it was so like stupid because they're like, oh, this is absolutely going to go through. There's like no way that it's not going to go through. Like, I promise you, like nothing's going to happen. And then it was like 2 seconds later, insulin can't even, like, it just bounces off of it. Like, it wasn't even barely going to make it through. It was so stupid.
What was dope, though, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but as like that rover thing was getting rewritten, like when it got spit back out, like the front half of it was like an old ass like freaking van or something. I was like, that's sick.
Yeah.
Just
that
that
was cool.
little
That
piece.
was cool.
But I also didn't see, again, with like how they did the TV show this time, like how did the circus really tie into that? Like that, they never really like, the circus to me felt insanely out of place with them doing the TV show like Modern Family.
I think it was just more of like, that's a circus act, Shield, and what they were doing. You know what I mean? That's or at least what I had thought of. I don't know. It's just
this episode.
I
just
think
felt
when I go back and watch it from beginning to end, back to back, I'll like it a lot more. I just think right now I'm just kind of like, to tell you the truth, this is probably gonna sound really bad. I might get a lot of flack. I'm over this. I want to move to Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, seeing that preview got me so excited. Like, I'm excited to see the Shield again. I'm excited to see this kind of buddy cop type of show. I think it's just going to be really fun and just kind of like jokey but serious all at the same time. Like, that's what I'm really looking forward to. Like, I want something. It looks a little more light. You know what I mean? And I know I always say I want something more dark. I just think with how this show is like progressing, it's so much that it's like maybe I want to see some stuff blowing up and see some people fighting.
I mean, I want to see that too, but I'm definitely not over Wanda at all. But
yeah, I'm kind of excited for. I mean, you liked it all the way up until this point. You can't give up before the finale.
No, I get it, but it's just I feel, and maybe this is just how I feel about it, is they're going to tease something super hard and it's not going to wrap up. You know what I mean? So it's like, how much longer am I going to have to wait to find out about this show?
Also,
like, that's what scares me about these shows is movies, they kind of wrap it up pretty decently and they're like moving forward. And I should probably give Marvel the benefit of the doubt about it, that it will tie everything together. But it just feels like very like it's going to be rushed and we're going to kind of be left on a cliffhanger.
Because
of
if
what's
they're
going to
do another season, where are they going to go with it? You know, especially when they've done this, like this episode thing that they've done. You know, is WandaVision just going to turn into something that like doesn't have that? I mean, the whole series has had that, and then you go into a second season where it's none of that.
But see, is it going to pick up in Doctor Strange's, movie that's coming out? Because she's in it, but it's like, I don't know. It's just, this is uncharted territory for them of shows and movies. So, I mean, maybe this finale is going to be like blow me away and maybe I'll be eating crow. Yeah. I just feel like with this ending, it's like, all right, well, where do we go with all this and how does this fit in?
And also, are they still going to be making it like an episode on the season, on the last episode?
I don't know.
Like, is it going to be 22 minutes long?
No, like, you know how every single episode has been like a decade, like a TV show? And this last one was like Modern Family. Like, are they still going to be sticking to that for this last episode? Or are they just abandoning that?
Yeah, I don't know. I just, maybe I was just a little like, there's so much to figure out and we only have 22 minutes left.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of where I'm like,
I know.
A little hesitant.
I think they're going to... They'll let it play out, I think.
I just hope it's longer.
I think it's going to be longer. I honest to God. Because that's a normal thing for them to do is make the last episode longer. Mm-hmm. Why am I saying longer? So weird.
Longer?
Is it going to be longer?
Longer.
Okay. Should we get into our next segment? Are you guys ready for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
we actually had sprinkled me some conspiracy this week. Now... this isn't necessarily like a full-on conspiracy theory, but it is something that's really interesting that I have found like super interesting, and can be in some way conspiracy theory is. But I've been watching this new series on Netflix called. I actually don't know exactly what it's called, which is just classic me, but it's about the Hotel Cecil. Have you guys seen this on Netflix?
I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a few part, I don't know how many part series about this hotel that's in Los Angeles on Skid Row. And it's known, it's like notoriously known for being really dangerous, having weird deaths and stuff like that. So this series is concentrating on a specific disappearance of a person. So it's her name's Elisa Lam. She was a 21-year-old like student traveling. She was from British Columbia, Canada, and she was traveling by herself in California. I don't know why she stayed at the Hotel Cecil on Skid Row. I mean, I guess, maybe back because it wasn't that long ago, but maybe it was just like you weren't looking at Google reviews back then or something. But like,
I don't know. I mean, it's not a place. I mean, it's a pretty bad hotel.
Right.
Well, and it's not a cheap area where, like in LA.
No, it's really cheap. I mean, the hotels.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's not, LA's not cheap.
Right. So she's maybe looking for a cheap place to
yeah.
stay. Correct. Right. But anyway, so she disappeared at the hotel. Like, so she was staying at the hotel and then she disappeared. And
did she leave a comb behind?
I don't think so. Why is that like a investigatory?
Every person that's disappeared from the hotel has missed a comb
From the Hotel Cecil?
Yeah.
Have you read that?
Man, we combed the hotel and we ain't found
each person is like a comb has been left, which is weird.
You read that?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have that on my paper.
No, I'm lying.
Oh.
I totally made that
I'm like,
up.
what type of comb?
Okay, so anyway, so the thing is she disappeared. They couldn't find her. Then eventually, after just like investigating or whatever, the police got their hands on some video footage of the elevator. There wasn't a lot of security in the hotel because it's like super run down. But they got some security footage that shows her in the elevator acting really, really, really weird. It looks like somebody is off camera. It looks like she's really scared of them. It looks like she's like talking to somebody, but acting really scared, getting in and out of the elevator, making weird hand movements. And this is all they have. And she's like, building up to it, they kind of make her out to seem like just a pretty normal person, So when you watch the video, it's very, very eerie and disturbing to watch it because you're like, she's not making normal hand movements that a normal person would make. Do you know what I'm saying? She's acting really weird, super sus. Okay. So 20 days later, they found her in a water tank on the roof of Hotel Cecil.
In the hotel's water tank.
In their water tank on the roof.
That they had been like using to brush their teeth and like shower with.
So the reason that they ended up looking in there is because people started complaining about a weird taste and weird water pressure. Okay. So
like did you guys see in The Ring is it The Ring when she comes out and like the hair is all freaking the black hair?
Yeah.
That was like coming out the shower. You know what I'm saying?
So she decomposing in the water tank. So they found her in there. So the thing is like they ruled it, and get this, okay? They ruled it an accidental drowning, okay? In a water tank. Like you don't accidentally fall into a water tank, okay?
No.
So that's what they ruled it as. That's her death was accidental. And even after seeing all this footage and everything, so many, many people believe that she was murdered. There's a lot of different beliefs. There's a lot of beliefs that there's paranormal activity in the hotel. But there's a lot of sketchy people at the hotel as well. And she was a young girl staying there by herself. But anyway, so I looked into the hotel, about some like all the weird stuff that has happened at this hotel. So it was built in 1920. And actually, if you see footage of it, the lobby and everything is very grand and super beautiful. And it was built as like a very, very like upscale, super nice, like grand hotel in the 1920s. And it did have some success for a little bit until the Great Depression. And of course, a lot of things fell in despair. And that area obviously turned into, a very bad area. And now it is what it is. And really, if you look at like some of the statistics of like Skid Row, like it's not a good place to ever go anywhere. And they just dump homeless people there. It's almost like they have a border around it to just keep the homeless people in that area. So anyway,
it's a big hotel.
It is. It has like what does it say? Like 700 rooms or something. It's a pretty big, or maybe 170. I can't remember, but.
Yeah, we're not talking like a small, like
it's not small.
Holiday Inn or something.
No, like a little motel. It's a huge,
like a tower,
big,
299 rooms.
Okay. 299 rooms. So like the thing is,
opened in 1927.
So the thing is in this documentary, there's also another couple who stayed there, and they kind of have footage of it and stuff. And it's like the lobby is super beautiful, but once you get out of the elevators into the rooms, it starts looking like super janky. Super scary. It's dirty. Mm-hmm. There's stains all over the place. You know what I'm saying? It's like gross. The bathrooms are gross.
Wear your socks, basically.
So anyway, yeah. So these are some other things that have happened at the hotel. Okay, and this is just one place, right? So you know what I think of, like all the hotels and all, that were, even if as old as they are, like how many deaths have actually happened at them. So one of the first ones was this girl named Delilah Short, who was staying at the Hotel Cecil, and it's one of the most gruesome murders. I'm not going to obviously describe it.
Yeah.
But it's like one of the most gruesome murders that they've experienced. She actually wasn't murdered in the hotel, but she was staying at the hotel.
Jeez.
And then, so there's like tons more like suicides than this, but there's 6 kind of like ones that are like actually like confirmed or whatever. So there's many, many, many suicides. Almost all of them are people jumping out the window. But this one specific 27-year-old girl jumped out the window and then landed on a 65-year-old man walking down the street and killed him.
Damn. Did she die? They both died?
They both died, but he was just walking down the street outside of the Hotel Cecil. Damn. So that's even strange too, where it's kind of like just even walking by the hotel, you could die.
Right. Falling bodies.
This one's actually kind of creepy. A teenage mom killed her baby. So she didn't know. She claimed she wasn't pregnant. She didn't know she was pregnant. She gave birth just unknowingly. Gave birth to a baby. She thought the baby was born dead, so she threw it out the window.
Oh my.
That happened.
Jeez.
There was a bird lady. She was like a homeless kind of a homelessy type of lady, bird lady. They found her sexually assaulted and murdered. Richard Ramirez, this is very famous, right? The Night Stalker. We all know who the Night Stalker is. Mm-hmm. So Richard Ramirez famously stayed at the hotel during the height of his murder spree in 1984 and 1985.
Yep. I actually lived in LA in Pasadena and Chatsworth at that same time.
During the Night Stalker?
Yeah, I remember being so scared because he was like terrorizing like basically the area that I lived in, and I was probably like 10 or something like that, and I was freaked out.
Oh, I bet. And actually about the Night Stalker, Netflix actually has a new series about the Night Stalker.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be watching that next. I love stuff like this, like murder stuff, which I don't know why I watch it at night. So he stayed there for a long time. And then another serial killer during the 90s was stayed there for a long time, where he was actually murdering people at the hotel. The Discovery Channel did a series called Ghost Adventures, where they go into the room where Richard Ramirez stayed. They actually go to the water tank where Elisa Lam was found, and do kind of like paranormal stuff. I don't necessarily.
That's the show Ghost Adventures,
right? I don't believe
on the Discovery Channel
in Ghost, right? Ghosts, but they do a whole thing on the Hotel Cecil, and they say that of course there's a lot of bad juju there.
Yeah.
And then also American Horror Story, a whole season. It's entitled Hotel, I guess, but it's all based on Hotel Cecil. Of course, they use a fictitious name in the show, but the whole series is supposed to be based on actual murders and things that have happened at that hotel.
And that's an upcoming season?
No, that's one
or
that
that already happened.
that one already happened.
Hotel.
I think it was season 5 or something.
And that was okay.
Which I actually have never been able to watch American Horror Story, but I kind of want to watch that specific season because I'm a little obsessed with the Hotel Cecil now.
Freak Show is the one that season that got me. Freak Show season, yeah.
That's clowns.
I could see why she probably stayed there because if you look at pictures of it, it does look nice.
Does it on like the website?
Yeah, like it looks nice. You know what I mean?
And this is an old story. Like I remember I've seen the footage, the camera footage, and it really, I've known about it. It's been, like showcased on paranormal shows and things like that, or on ID. Like I've seen it a few times, but it's up not recently. Like it's totally trending and everybody knows about it.
Yeah, because it's on Netflix now.
Yeah, but I mean, there's definitely it's creepy.
You've
like when
seen
you
the
see
footage
it,
though,
I've
right?
seen the elevator footage. It's kind of like shot from the top, and you're looking down, sort of at an angle, and she's just acting super funny, and like she just like she comes out of the thing, goes back in, like she's talking to herself, like gesturing all around. Then she like walks down the hallway, and I think that's maybe the last time you see her.
And what's kind of crazy, I think, about her is she actually, I guess, apparently did suffer from depression and bipolar disorder. So people start to think like, okay, was she having a psychotic break?
Maybe didn't take her meds or something.
Didn't take her medication, but it really seems like she's talking to somebody, like there's somebody out of shot.
I mean, that's more of like schizophrenia than bipolar, I would say. But yeah, I mean,
and that's why, like, I absolutely do not believe that she accidentally drowned in a water tank. By no means do I believe that. It was a super, super sketchy place. It totally looks like there's somebody off camera. It looks like she's terrified. It looks like she's scared. You know, like whatever's happening, she seems really, really unnerved by it. Honestly, watching the footage and just talking about it makes my eyes water because it's like, it's so scary to me to just think like, that is just the last time anybody saw her, and that's just so scary to think. Even if she was having a psychotic break, that whatever place she was in, it would seem like a very, very scary place, no matter what. If it was just in her mind or if there was somebody off camera, that's such a scary thing to be like, those are the last few hours of your life. That's what she was living.
So do they still say it's like a really bad hotel?
Yeah.
Or
shut
they
down
like
right
made
now.
it nice?
No, they just put this documentary up, so I don't really know. Yeah, like, I mean, I don't know what happened during COVID. Like, if it was
I think it's shut down for like a renovation or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But the thing is Skid Row is still a terrifying place. It's still on Skid Row, right? So it's like, even if they revitalized or they remodeled it, it's still in a terrible area, right?
The area is not going to change.
Because they show it
online.
You can look up pictures of it, and it looks like
it looks nice,
super nice,
right?
Yeah, it's like you're in The Shining or something, right? I do have a question for you about because I haven't seen the documentary. I know the case.
I kind of want to watch it.
I was reading up a little bit on it, and they say that they kind of allude to like there's a guy like a death metal singer guy that like is somehow involved or something
with the Elisa Lamb.
Yeah, but then they like it like alludes to it like the whole time, and then in the end they're like, oh no, it didn't. No, he's good. Like they kind of, and I don't know, but did that actually happen? Yeah,
and I mean like. And it is kind of weird because they do kind of just like drop it off. Like it seems like they were really looking into it, and then all of a sudden it was like he was not involved in it.
Right. Because he had stayed there like a year prior.
Right.
But they tried to make it seem like
I don't think
the timelines were connected or something.
Right, but I don't think he had anything to do with it.
I'm trying to think of his name, but I can't.
I know, I can't think of his name either.
But it's like something
I think it was just honestly
demonic.
Right. Oh, right. They also try to say that like Richard Ramirez was like that this hotel like attracts satanic kind of like people or energy, which I don't know, like a place like that is going to attract off-brand people. What I think it was just like some sketch ass person that nobody is ever going to know because what kind of records are they keeping there, or who knows who's going in and out of this hotel.
And why is there no other was there other camera footage, or was just the elevator?
Because because it's such a sketch place, they had very, very like poor security. So they had that one camera up there, and that's
just
it.
Have one camera.
Literally one camera.
in the elevator.
And that's it. I don't think they had any other. And if they did have any other, like maybe she wasn't on it or something. But it's such a good. It's a good. I think it's good for this like conspiracy theory like segment just because there's so much mystery around that case specifically, and also around so many other things that have just around this hotel where it's like, of course it makes sense why it attracts like unsavories, you know, and of course unsavory things are going to happen here, but it's like the kind of the percentage of it, it's like it's more than other places, you know, like it just seems to attract even more. And maybe because bad things have happened, it attracts more bad people, so then more bad things happen there, but it just seems like, you know, it seems to really attract and invite this type of activity.
Yeah, it seems like it has a pretty horrifying track record.
And
sure.
Buddy, I think you have a point too about like why she stayed there, because like on the documentary I was saying there was another just normal couple that was visiting from out of the country from the UK, and they stayed there because they looked at the pictures online. You know,
looks nice.
And then they got there, whatever. But then they started like most people would do is like stay at a hotel and then walk around. Mm-hmm. So they said as soon as they stepped out of the hotel, they're like, you know, we're like terrified.
Yeah.
Just turn around and go right back in.
Right. And they said that it wasn't really they hadn't gotten that idea from the online presence of the hotel, which is really also interesting.
Could you go look of their pictures? It does not seem what it would be like.
Right. And also, like, if maybe you're not from around here, like, of course, we've heard of Skid Row.
Yeah.
But if you're not from around here, you may not know. Well, like, if you looked at the street, I wouldn't know necessarily what street is on Skid Row.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if you booked a room on, you know, whatever thing, and you booked it you're going to San Francisco, and you like booked this hotel in the Tenderloin district or something like that. Like, you don't know what the area is like, but once you get there, you're like, okay, this is a little sketch.
Yeah,
like, I'm probably not going to go outside at night.
Right.
You know?
So I definitely recommend it. It's on Netflix. It's something Hotel Cecil, and then also The Night Stalker. I'm gonna watch that one. I'm like obsessed with Netflix murder documentaries.
You and every other person.
That Richard Ramirez, he was a sick pup, or is a sick pup. I guess he's still alive, I think, right? Or did he get the chair? I don't know, but yeah, he's a bad one.
So he was the Night Stalker.
Night Stalker.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he was in L.A. mainly.
But I think he did murders at other places too, but mainly in L.A.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about it.
Do you watch any of these crime? Did you watch The Golden State Killer?
Yeah, because that one happened like here in Sacramento.
But remember, he had the nickname called the original Night Stalker because or something like that, because he was kind of like down in Southern California too at some point, the Golden State Killer.
Right.
But then came back up this way.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
But I don't remember, like, I guess that happened kind of before our time.
Right.
Because I don't, being from here, I never even, until the case like resurfaced, and some of my coworkers, this elderly gal I used to work with, she told me that when she was young, she was terrified, and this was happening where she lived.
I think you're right.
So it was like a big deal, but I just wasn't young enough.
Yeah, I think where it wasn't.
Mm-hmm, but it was apparently a pretty big thing, you know. Crazy. You guys want a road trip to the Cecil? Stay the night, maybe, if they reopen?
Should we?
We want to book the Lamb room, please.
The Lamb.
Or no, let's go the
Richard Ramirez room.
Yeah. I couldn't do it.
Would you guys do something like that?
No, I would never.
No.
Would you go visit during the day?
I'd have to drive through and see. I don't know if I'd get out of the car. Do you think they have a bar?
Do they care?
Hey, do you think they have a bar at the bottom? Did they show a bar at the bottom of the hotel? Or a restaurant?
Yeah, I think so.
And get a snack?
Because what if we did? If I could park right out front, I'm not going in that place. Are you kidding me? No.
It's like it sounds all fun and games until you like get there,
you're
and you're like, we're doing this,
in that area.
I think the closest thing I've done to that, because I'm always like, I'll do that,
right?
But I went to
it looks like a restaurant,
restaurant. They probably have cocktails for sure.
There's a bunch of sitting areas.
God damn, that haunted place out in Ione, the Preston Castle.
Yeah,
like. I was like, oh, this will be fun. We'll go on like this ghost tour. But it was like,
scary.
Once you get there and you feel the vibes, I was like, okay, this is like the real deal. Like, I
Yeah.
feel super creepy, and I don't know, it was so weird.
Well, I think that what I've noticed too here in Sacramento, like the homeless problem has gotten really out of hand because of COVID. Because I think like there's, it's hard, whatever, maybe to move people. I don't know what it is, but the homeless thing has gotten like crazy out of control. So I'm assuming in bigger cities and bigger places, it's even worse. So I couldn't even imagine what that place
Not
looks like now.
necessarily though, because I think COVID's obviously part of the problem, but I think California is what they call a sanctuary city now. So that
Or California or Sacramento is.
well, Sacramento, I think
okay.
in general.
So it's just different here.
So it's kind of
LA?
like deemed okay to like.
Oh, okay.
do-
So they're not.
And
it's
I
not-
don't know for sure, but I think there's several.
But you don't think that's
reasons at
all in
play.
California?
I think it might just be Sacramento, but we weren't a sanctuary city before, and I think under our current governor,
That guy.
yeah, he declared us a
I like to call
sanctuary.
him French Laundry.
Yeah, right. He's eating good in the neighborhood.
All right, let's.
Anyway, okay, I'm sorry. Moving on. So watch it, you guys. I want to hear what you guys think happened to Elisa
Yeah,
Lamb.
I'll definitely check that out. I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch the Ghost Adventures one. Too.
Yeah.
I love those.
All right. So we're gonna probably get into our favorite segment of the day.
All right, let's do that.
It's Dilly's Gaming Corner. Let's play.
All right, guys. So, ban sale of Grand Theft Auto, other violent video games, says State Representative Marcus Evans. They want to ban GTA, bruh.
What?
So,
Bruh?
with carjacking on the rise in Chicago and elsewhere, a Southside blank, I'm not going to say what party they belong to, state representative has introduced a bill that would ban the sale of Grand Theft Auto and other violent video games. Evans Jr. wants to amend the 2012 law preventing some of the video games from being sold to minors. So on Friday, he filed a HB 3531, which would amend that law to ban the sale to anyone of video games depicting psychological harm, including motor vehicle theft with a driver or passenger present. So Evans says the bill would prohibit the sale of some of the games that promote the activities that we're suffering from in the communities. So basically, like all the crimes that are happening in Chicago, he's kind of like relating those to GTA or video games,
Really?
but more specifically GTA. So in addition to addressing the carjacking, the bill also is proposed to change the definition of quote unquote violent video game to one in which quote unquote players control a character within the video game that is encouraged to perpetuate human-on-human violence in which the player kills or otherwise causes serious physical or psychological harm to other humans or an animal.
Aww.
So yeah, that's the...
No animals.
So instead of being violent video games, it'll be called that instead.
It'll be called all of that?
That's the proposition in the bill. So
To say all of
to
that?
say all that, yeah, they want to take away the like what's deemed right now as a violent video game and like replace it with more like a more detailed like
Okay.
description
Yeah,
of what it
description.
really is.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
I don't know. I'm into it because I think that I don't know, because I don't think that video games causes people to like be more violent than maybe they would naturally be.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that video games, of course, because they're very geared towards kids, that it could cause some kind of situation that maybe they're desensitized to it. They think that maybe hurting people is not as permanent as it is in real life,
But
because in video games it could be different.
Kids aren't the demographic anymore. It's everybody. Everybody plays. Anybody that's 45 and younger plays video games. Like, video games aren't just kids anymore. It's grown adults that are.
Right.
I mean, that's why the biggest meme out there is, what are you doing to get a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox? These kids don't really have the money. Like, systems are so expensive.
No.
Games
Oh,
are
okay.
so expensive.
But,
Kids
I mean,
are
this-
not buying
To
the
choose
video
his defense,
games.
this is about like minors buying the game, basically.
No, but
Not
what I'm
necessarily
saying
adults.
is you're saying
nobody.
how.
No. I'm not saying that not everybody plays it.
Okay.
I'm just saying that, of course, kids play video games 100%, and I'm saying that maybe playing insanely violent video games may not, and I'm not would never say 100%, but it may not be great for children. It may not be. I don't know. I don't have kids. Because like this is something that I've talked to before, like where I've had actual parents tell me, like sometimes after my kid has their phone for a long time, their disposition is a little different, right? So if you spend hours and hours and hours as like a younger person killing and being very aggressive, I don't know. Maybe that could affect the way that you go out and interact with other people. I don't know.
I just wonder because I mean I grew up with GTA. I'm not out there stealing cars. You know what I mean? Because I remember GTA 3 came out. It was like life changing.
Yeah.
You were just like, this is the best game ever made.
I remember the first one was like top down.
Yeah,
and it
the
sucked.
first two were like that.
Yeah.
They were terrible.
Right, and then finally it was like, oh
Yeah.
my god, this is heaven.
Yeah,
Like,
it was like the
It's so
game couldn't
good.
get any better.
yeah.
Like
you could just shoot people and just take their car and like just
run
them
people
over. And,
yeah, exactly. I
snipe
just
somebody.
But I
remember being like, video games can never get better than
yeah,
this.
that was like the best.
I think the problem though is that it can be like to minds that might be more susceptible.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I know, but is it just video? I mean,
I
But
don't know.
but
I
once
don't
you
know.
do that, I mean, what you can't listen to music anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
surely.
and,
it's
well,
everything.
You can't
No.
listen to the radio. You can't watch TV or anything
But I
depicting
think
violence.
it's different. No. And I see
I'm just
where
playing
you're
devil's
going.
advocate.
No, 100%. But I think it's different, obviously, than like listening to music when you're like, a video game, especially now, is meant to be insanely immersive, and like, especially a POV and like you're that person, you're actually doing those acts. Well, of course, through the video game, but like a song that tells you or says violent things is completely different than you actually using controls to then do violent things yourself. Is different, I think. But again, I have no idea. I don't know if it's bad for kids. I don't know.
Of course, it's bad. But
I see-
Don't let the kids play it. I think if
It's just
the
got to be a
adult,
parental.
right? You got to put it on the adult and
Yeah.
let them,
Yeah.
do what they will.
I think the reason why it's so bad is just I think everybody's on edge. You know what I mean? It's not just because of the video games. I just think everybody's kind of on edge with everything going on in the world, and
But I feel
to
like
try to
they've been
blame it on video games.
they've been trying to blame video games for 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, this
Yeah.
isn't the first time GTA's been under attack.
Right.
I really just brought this up so I could hear you guys argue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, what else is new?
But
else
man,
are we
the
gonna do?
terrorist, debaucherous things you can do in GTA is awesome.
It's
Like you can
so
go to your
good.
apartment and like call up prostitutes, and they come over and they ring the doorbell, and you can have several,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get all your buddies in there, and everybody's like they do lap dances and stuff, and it's terrible. It's
Sounds good.
It's
It's
an
such a good
awesome
game, yeah.
It's so good.
They should have a Hotel Cecil on there.
One time when I like first played GTA 5, I think it was 5, yeah. And I was like with Dilly and them, they got me in a plane. They took me all the way to the top, and then both of them jumped out with parachutes, and I didn't have the parachute. So it was either go down with the plane and explode or jump out and die.
didn't leave them too many choices.
Yeah,
That's very funny.
that's pretty good.
All right, so got some Switch news. So
Okay.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 coming to the Switch, which is
Nice.
awesome news. But the next gen upgrades that they're planning, well, those are trash.
Trash.
So Nintendo fans saw awesome news, and at last we'll get Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 on the Switch. The remaster was one of 2020's best games, as we all know, and its arcade stylings will slot perfectly on the Switch console. While that's all fine and dands, the biggest issue, though, is how Activision is dealing with the upgrade path for the Xbox and the PlayStation users. So with the latter particularly getting squelched. So you guys can add that to my list of words.
Squelched.
That means you're getting
Squelched.
screwed over.
I like that.
All right. So first off, the upgraded version of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 will include gameplay in native 4K at 60 frames per second, 120 FPS, and 1080p. Spatial audio, as well as some other teased sweet stuff. Sounds cool, right? But nah. So unless you have the digital version of the game, you have to pay $10 for a cross-gen bundle, which is total malarks, dude. Malarks. The gamers are pissed because it's only basically a graphical upgrade. Like they're upgrading to 4K and the frame rates are getting better, but there's no like DLC at all. So people that already have the game, if they want better graphics, are now going to be forced to pay an extra $10, dude.
That's weak,
right?
dude.
So stupid. So people are obviously pissed off about this. It's just a cash grab. Like that's how people are feeling.
Right,
you know?
right.
And we didn't want that from Tony
At
Hawk,
least give me something,
right? I mean, if you're going to pay for something that you already have that they're just making like up to date, you should get that for free, dude. So for Xbox users, this upgrade is even worse. So if you purchase a disc of Tony Hawk Pro Skater, the 1 and 2 remaster, there is no way to upgrade. So you can you can do so on the PlayStation, but not on the Microsoft console. This is made even more bizarre by Activision not using the company's smart delivery feature, a free and cross-generation upgrade program. So this is all what I just talked about is going to launch on March 26th. But that sucks. So like for me to upgrade it, I'm going to have to pay $10.
That's weird.
Because I bought it when I had the X, which isn't the Series X. Now I have the Series X, and I want to take advantage of that upgrade, but I'm going to have to pay $10, and all I'm going to get is some shiny
bold,
stuff, dude. Yeah. Lame. And I was hoping they do like some kind of upgrades or something with that. Or add something. I mean, but they already put everything out. So what do you do? I mean, there's nothing.
I know, but even if they had like
clothes
special
or something.
skaters or something, you know, like give me something.
Right. Unlock more clothes,
$10,
boards, like put something in there. Put a new park in there.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. If they would have thrown in like a special park, like cool.
Right. So did you have the disc version or did you buy the? You have it, right?
I bought it.
You have the digital?
Yeah, I bought the Digi.
Yes, you'll have to, if you want to upgrade, you have to pay 10 bones. New leak suggests the much-rumored Switch Pro is finally on the horizon, and it isn't called the Switch Pro. So this is all hearsay. This is some leaks, but according to the leakers, the new console will mark a significant improvement on the original Switch performance-wise. So it's set to be the first model to support 4K resolution along with NVIDIA's DLSS technology. Well-regarded Nintendo leaker Nate Drake took to Reset Era forum to claim that the new Nintendo Switch will be like a PS4 with DLSS and a more capable CPU. While we can hardly expect the tiny Switch to compete with Sony's enormous PS5, a 4K handheld device as powerful as the PS4 sounds pretty dope, actually. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. I hope it sounds pretty legit. This guy's a pretty renowned Nintendo leaker, so I think there's some weight to it. So it's not just the internals that are in for what Drake calls a meaningful upgrade. The console's handheld mode is set to be enhanced, most likely receiving a larger, higher resolution display. We might even get to enjoy it sooner rather than later. The upgraded device is said to be dropping sometime in 2021. So that little touch more. So perhaps the most interesting revelation is that the Nintendo Switch Pro might not even be called the Nintendo Switch Pro at all. The new device is rumored to be called the Super Nintendo Switch.
I actually like that, dude.
This, of course, being a delightful nod to the 1990s Super NES, one of the the most beloved consoles of all times.
100.
The Super Nintendo Switch. How dope is that?
I ain't gonna lie, that almost would make me.
I saw some concept art of it, and it looks a little bigger, and the handles are, instead of being, the Joy-Cons aren't rounded, they kind of are shaped more like a Xbox controller. They kind of come down, snap onto it. So it looks,
get one or what?
Probably, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Get every goddamn thing that comes out.
Yeah, I'll get that. It'll piss me off, but I'll get it.
I love that they're nodding it to it. I really hope they make one that kind of looks like it, that gray and purple.
I know, that'd be so.
Man,
that thing is like so nostalgic. I used to play Street Fighter for days on that Super NES.
Like Zelda, I played so many games. Mario Kart, like that was my jam.
Yeah.
Like
Such a
that
good
was
console.
what got me into video
I was
games.
just Super Mario Brothers all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
No Mario Kart?
Mario Kart wasn't ever my favorite. I suck at it. I'm always flying off of the track.
I love Mario Kart.
I don't like
good.
Mario Kart. I don't like anything that's stressful like that. I want to just like meander through places.
Meander?
Yeah, I like to meander.
You meander through life.
Meander. That's a wrap on the Dilly's.
Thank you, Dill.
Dilly's Gaming Corner.
I
you,
have
sir.
just a little update on Hotel Cecil.
All right.
Cecil.
Let's hear it.
So as Buddy was showing us pictures, it did look pretty like decent. But there's a few things. There's a bunch of shared rooms, like you'll see bunk beds and stuff, and shared bathrooms. You know, sometimes like hostels will have that for like travelers or whatever that don't have a lot of money.
Travelers.
Okay, so in 2011, though, it was rebranded as Stay on Main. So if you look it up now, the front of it says Stay on Main, but the side of it still has this thing that says Hotel Cecil. And then in 2017, they closed the hotel for renovation, and it's projected to be completed in 2021. So it is actually currently closed right now.
Yeah, been closed since 17. Huh?
Yes, since 2017, it's been closed. So that's just an update. You can't stay there right now, but I'm interested to see if it kind of still keeps its, you know,
Eeriness.
Well, you know what happens when you do renovations to like an old hotel, right?
you start covering up.
You start to awake those spirits inside. They don't like that.
No.
So
So even weirder things are probably going to happen.
strange things are
So,
afoot.
We're all going to go stay there.
But it said at some point, like, cause you know, it's in that area, Skid Row. At some point, there was 100,000 homeless people living in like a square mile of that hotel.
Jeez.
Real quick shout out to the band Skid Row, one of my favorite rock bands from the 80s, early 90s. Sebastian Bach. It's good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gotta love him. He's in Trailer Park Boys.
Is he really?
Yeah, oh yeah. Sebastian Bach. Yeah. You never
Bubbles?
watched Trailer Park Boys?
I've seen it. Is he in like later episodes?
Yeah, I think he's in like season 5 or 6, but it's super funny because he talks about Patrick Swayze,
Oh, really?
the Swayze Express.
Does he like play Sebastian Bach?
No,
on
he's
the
Sebastian
show?
Bach, and he's like, yeah, and he's like totally like screaming.
Yes. He's all like bigger now.
Yeah, and he's
right?
like smoking in the show, and he's
What
like,
is
"What
it?
am I buying this? Am I buying it for this old crusty bee?" And it's just like how he talks.
Is it Adrian?
What?
Bubbles? Isn't that his name? Adrian?
Yeah.
Bubbles and I just said his name.
Ricky.
Ricky. Those are the
Ricky's
main-
my favorite.
Yeah, he's the man.
No, it's not
And-
Adrian's Julian.
Julian. And then
He's always
Delaney.
got the rum and coke.
Delaney. Love Delaney.
Even
yeah, the rum
Snoop
and Coke.
Dogg was on that show.
Right.
Honestly, that show for me, and I don't know if you guys are a big fan, I don't want to offend anybody, but like in the beginning, those first few seasons, amazing. So good. I love it. I'll watch it over and over. But it just got to a point where it was like, okay,
Well, did you
I've
hear
had
what
damn
happened though?
enough of Trailer Park Boys.
What, would Leahy died?
Well, he died, but that wasn't really like what had happened is they had kind of made the show a long time ago. And it was funny is they never really had a trailer park. They would jump from place to place until they got kicked out. That's why it always kind of looked a little bit different.
Yeah.
But what was funny
So
is
funny.
the show was kind of not considered like a hit ever until it made it to Netflix, and then it blew up. So they never really made a lot of money off the show. Well, when Netflix picked it up, it blew up and became this like thing.
They
and
were,
they
like,
were
making
actually
movies.
And that's probably
able-
when they started making the movies.
and
huh?
that's when they actually started making money off
Yeah.
of it because
Yeah.
they had already made a movie.
They already sold it probably to Netflix for dirt cheap, I would imagine.
Yeah,
right?
and that's why they started making stuff because none of them really made money. And the
makes
funniest
sense.
part is the glasses that Bubbles wears. A girlfriend found them in a thrift store in Texas, and he based the character off the glasses.
I read something that it like messed up his vision
No, it definitely
like
did.
permanently.
Yeah, he said when he first got him, he was only able to film for about 5 minutes,
Right.
and his head would hurt so bad. Now he can say he can wear them for up to like an hour or two.
Bubbles is the best.
I do
though.
that to yourself.
And he like loves kitty cats.
Dedication, yeah.
No, when he gets the mountain lion, that one's the best.
Okay. All right, you guys. Well, we're getting out of here.
Yeah. And remember, dude,
See Nasty.
After Dark is going to be a hum.
He's still coming, Cheese.
You guys, if you don't already subscribe to After Dark, make sure to go tonight, subscribe, go to Podbean, look up Hardly Heroes, become a patron. $2 or more gets you access, because I think it's going to be a humdinger of a show.
Yeah, and what else is nice is you can go to the Hardly Heroes Instagram and the highlights. There's actually a story to show you how to do it if you don't know how to do it.
Oh, that's right. We do have that in the highlights. All right. So you can find us at
where?
Instagram at Hardly Heroes. You can find us at Facebook at Hardly Heroes. You can find us on YouTube at Hardly Heroes. You can find us on Twitter at Hardly Heroes.
Number one.
You can also find us Spotify at Hardly Heroes.
Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Podbean, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Also, make sure to go to Facebook. Find us at the Hardly Heroes Sidekick Sanctorum. We keep the conversation going. If you're not a member there already, make sure to become a member. All you need to know is Buddy's real first name.
Yes.
All right, and that's all we got.
You guys have a good night. Oh.
I was a baseball shamer.
Just remember one thing.
Disclaimer, they don't know
Little rusty. You guys have a good night.
Peace out.
Good night. Love you.
Peace out.